students. Today we are going to read another nonfiction book by Inez Snyder. This book is called Wax to Crayons. What do you think this book will be about? I think they're going to take wax and turn it into crayons. This is probably a nonfiction how-to book. How to make crayons. The table of contents, it'll tell us about wax on page 4. A mold is on page 10. Finished crayons on page 18. New words or the glossary. Page 22. Let's go to page 22 and find out what some of those new special words are that we will need to understand in order to talk about wax and turning it into crayons. It was on page 22. Crayons. Oh, well, we know what those are. They're colored wax sticks that we use for drawing and coloring. Labels. Labels are pieces of paper that are attached to something and give information about it. So, we use labels in our writing all the time. But when they say labels, when they're talking about crayons, they're talking about the paper wrapper. It tells what color it is. Melts. It goes from being solid to being liquid. Mold. That's a hollow container that you can pour liquid into so that it sets into that shape. Powder. Tiny particles of a solid substance. Wax. It's a substance made from fats and oils. Now that we know what the new words are from our glossary, we can go back and read wax. Crayons are made from wax. This is a stick of wax. That's a crayon. The photograph helps us understand the text. First, the wax is heated. Wax melts when it is hot. So that bar of wax turned into a liquid when they heated it up. Colored powder is mixed into the hot wax. Remember our word powder? It's bold text because it was one of our special words. The wax becomes the same color as the powder. We wouldn't want all our crayons to be the same color, so they have to add a special colored powder to it when they make it. Next, the colored wax is put into a mold. The mold will make the wax into the shape of crayons. This is the mold. I'm so glad that they use photographs to help us understand the text, because otherwise I might not understand what they mean by mold. Let's take a quick, close look. Oh, it has small holes in it, and it looks like they go all the way down to the bottom, like an empty cylinder. So they'll pour the wax into it and let it cool down. Remember, it started as a solid, and when they heated it up, it became a liquid. What do you think will happen when it cools down? When the wax cools, it becomes hard. The hard wax is taken out of the mold, and look, it's shaped like a cylinder now. The wax is now in the shape of crayons. A worker looks at the crayons. He makes sure that the crayons are not broken. What is he doing in this photograph? He's making sure that the crayons are all in good shape, that none of them are broken. Then someone puts labels on each crayon. So the label is that piece of paper on the outside that tells us what color it is. The finished crayons are put into boxes. So when they were making them, that time that we looked at, they were making all red. They took one of those and put it into this box, and one and put it in this box. They had to make a lot of batches in order to have all the different colors. So the finished crayons are put into boxes, and now the crayons are ready to be used. We use crayons to draw and color on paper. Crayons are fun to use. What is the topic of this book? Remember, our main topic is what the book is all about. So what is this book all about? How to make crayons, you're right. Do you remember the order that they used to make the crayons and the words that they used to help us understand the order? What did they do first? Can you tell it across your fingers? First, they heated the wax. Next, they added colored powder. Third, they poured it into a mold and let it cool down. Last, they put the label, the wrapper, on the crayon and put it in a box. That's how they make crayons. Thank you for reading this book with me today.